And today we have Sarah Chatterton as our Table Topics Master. Ms. Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Great. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I think I have one question for everyone here. Oh, but first I would like to go over the timing parameters for Table Topics. Wayne?
Yes, Miss Table Topics Master. For Table Topics, each speaker will have 1 to 2 minutes to respond. I'll show green at 1 minute with 1 minute remaining, yellow at 1.5 minutes with 30 seconds remaining, and red at 2 minutes with 30 seconds to qualify.
Thank you. Alright, well the theme today is villains. And I'll be honest, I do enjoy, when I think of villains, I think of superheroes and comic books, and I'll go to see the movies, but sometimes I fall asleep during the movies. Like Captain America, Civil whatever, yeah, that one I was asleep within 20 minutes. So I'm not the most well-versed in villains and heroes, but I did come up with some questions. And the first one is very generic. If you were a villain, what would your villain superpower be? And I'll go ahead and I'll ask Rick.
Thank you, Ms. Table Topics Master. And I was trying to think of who my favorite villains were. So you really kind of threw me there. Okay, if I were a villain, my superpower would be the ability to read minds. Because I feel with the ability to read minds, you really don't have to have much strength. You don't have to have much agility. You just have foreknowledge of what's about to happen or what somebody wants to do. So if they're going to punch at you, you could step this way, or you can weave that way. Or you can run fast. Yeah, I think that would be probably one of the better ones. I kind of look at the older villains in some of my favorite shows, like the Penguin. He couldn't run very fast, and he had an umbrella that would let him fly, but it would also spray poisonous gas at people, a repugnant poisonous gas. I put them to sleep or whatever. And then we had the Joker, who I didn't quite get his superpower, but anyway, he wasn't very funny. He did manage to get Batman riled, though. But once again, I think if I had the ability to read minds, I could do really well. And so, thank you very much, Ms. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Wayne, do you have a mischievous side to you?
Thank you, Miss Table Topics Master.
The table topics again are 2 minutes?
1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
1 to 2 minutes, okay. All right.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Is this counting?
No.
Am I- Let me know when you're ready,
Yes,
Sharon,
sir.
so I can use up every second.
I am ready.
Okay. I do have a mischievous side to me. I think a lot of times people don't realize that until after you get to know me a little bit. And it's always usually something unexpected. And so I feel that at times I'm normally composed, and I do like to stay within the rules. I think I am the oldest child, and so I was always a rule follower. And so whenever I did something bad, it was repugnant to my parents. And so I usually don't act out unless it's something that I know I could get away with. And so I think probably the best example was the last time I had spoke on Table Topics. My brother and my sister and I would always play tag when my parents weren't at home. And so I think I would antagonize or kind of like pressure my brother and my sister to actually be the bad guy, and I would be the good guy with whoever else was on my team. And I would basically just get them to a point where they would chase me around the house. And so even though it wasn't their fault and they were the ones that were making a mess and everything, I could actually say that it was probably me antagonizing them and me kind of like making them get all wild up that they became the mischievous one when actually I was like the mastermind behind it. So that's my mischievousness.
Thank you. All right. Who is your favorite Disney villain? I'll throw out some. Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, Ursula, Captain Hook, Jafar, Scar, Rebecca. That is a fantastic question because I was thinking of that when you were asking Rick his first question. I was expecting you to ask me who my favorite villain was, so I was preparing for this. I'm really excited to answer this because now I've had some time to prepare it, which normally I don't. Who here has seen Toy Story 3? Do you remember the teddy bear that smells like boysenberries?
The purple one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really cute, so I think he would be my favorite Disney villain, even though he's really mischievous. People think that he is repugnant and he kind of shows his true colors at the end, but he's still so cute. And at the end you realize he's still just this big, fluffy, grouchy teddy bear that's had some terribly abandoned previous life that another kid scooped him up and owned him. So I think that, I can't even remember his name, but he's my favorite. What was it?
Lotso.
Oh, Lotso.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah, I think
Lotso.
that's it. Yeah.
I'd say that he's my favorite Disney villain because Scar was okay in The Lion King, but The Lion King just makes me so sad when I think about it, because I had this phase where I watched The Lion King on repeat for an entire summer, hoping that the ending would change and Mufasa would live, so it makes me so sad. But yeah, Lotso is my favorite villain.
I love it.
You were quite young when that came out.
I love Lion King too.
Toy Story has so many sad storylines to it, especially like number 3. So I forgot about him.
Even the villains have a story.
Yeah. Okay. When I was a kid, I came downstairs from my grandma's house, we're on vacation, and my dad was watching the movie The Omen. And I was like, what are you watching? And he's like, oh, it's too scary for you. You shouldn't watch. I was like, I'll be fine. And no, that movie scarred me for years. That was so creepy. And I was just wondering, Sharon, if there's any sort of like scary movie or villain that scared you as a child, like The Wicked Witch or Michael Myers, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, something like that.
Unfortunately, I have always found horror movies, scary movies, and things that scare you, make things that go bump in the night. I've always found them to be repugnant. The movie that I remember, though, that scared the daylights out of me as a child was one I think maybe Doug and maybe Rick might remember, but I think they made a modern version of it years later, but it was The Blob. One of the things I remember about that movie was the blob was just what it indicates. It was a big blob of mass of something gooey, almost like what the kids play with now, the Play-Doh type, whatever it is that they do. But the blob would go through different cities or in someone's house, if I remember correctly, and it would eat whatever it is that it rolled over. So as a child, I was always looking for the blob to come around the corner, and since that time, I have honestly not watched a Michael Myers movie. I've never seen Halloween. I've never seen The Exorcist. I saw Cujo. And I hated big dogs. I can't say I hated them, but I never wanted the Cujo type dog since seeing that movie probably 20 plus years ago. But one of the running jokes in my household is that if there's a trailer for a scary movie, they'll call me to the room and say, "You gotta come see this." And then all it takes is either the music or just a quick glance, and I can tell immediately what type of movie it is. And unfortunately, I have passed it along to my 9-year-old grandson. He does not like scary movies either. So I would have to say The Blob was the one that did it for me. It sealed my fate, so to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. I was just thinking, Blair Witch Project also really creeped me out because I couldn't tell if it was real or not. Then I watched it when I was in high school and I was like, this is so dumb.
That's what I thought.
I'm like, wow, why was I afraid to go camping? All right. Well, I know we have time for one more, and there's one more person that already spoke. Which superhero would you want to be the villain for, Doug?
There's a word I'm fond of, fellow Toastmasters, prevaricate. I'm not going to speak about this one because, but the scariest movie I ever saw was written by Stephen King, and I don't remember the name of it, but the janitor is deciding whether he's going to mop this floor or that floor. He flips a coin, and it rolls away, and it rolls under the stairwell, and he's crud, I gotta get my quarter. So he's looking in there and there's a box under the stairwell. Ooh, I found something. So he gets out his wrenches and this thing's chained in. It's not going anywhere and it's been hidden there forever. Alaska expedition from like 30 years ago. And he's thinking, oh, awesome. So he drags it out. He brings one of the professors to witness this great find. Boom! The abominable snowman jumps out and eats him right there. and so the professors go, holy! He puts the lid down, locks it up, sits on it, and he's thinking, oh my God, what do I do? So in the true Stephen King fashion, he went and got his wife and showed it to her. So this is the reason why I don't read Stephen King. Not a tabletop.
The short stories?
I'd say a creep story or a creep show.
Oh, okay.
It was a bunch of shorts, yes.
Yeah.
That's
I
hilarious.
haven't heard that one.
He's one of my favorites.
Well, I don't have any more, and there's no more of you. So, I guess I will transition over to General Evaluator, since that is my next hat. And I will call up, well, I'll ask Wayne for the timing timing for the evaluations, please.
Yes, Miss General Evaluator. For the speech evaluations, Sharon, you will have 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll show green with 1 minute remaining. At 2.5 minutes, I'll show yellow with 30 seconds remaining. And red at 3 minutes with 30 seconds to qualify.
Give me the green one again.
Green is at 2 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. And then with that, please join me in welcoming Sharon to evaluate Doug.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.